Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review. This time, I'm doing a review for the 8th installment for the Fast and Furious franchise, The Fate of the Furious. Now, somebody made an interesting quote. I did a live reaction to The Fate of the Furious, and the person wrote, I think this person's name is RP. It said, he really likes the most idiotic movies. Fast 8, Kong Skull Island, BVS. Yes, RP, I really do, because this movie was freaking lit. I enjoyed this movie so much. When I thought about like the trailers, I was like, man, this movie looks crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It just looks over the top, unbelievable. Which I mean, it's never not been ever since, I want to say probably since this one, the 5th one, Fast 5. It's definitely been, over the top. When you have like a safe going through a city and just destroying stuff on the back of a car, that is over the top. And of course they've kind of chugged along, but one of the things they did so well is added this core element, which is reminiscent to the original, which is the family element. And I think that they triggered this one even deeper almost than they do in Fast and Furious 7, or Furious 7, what most people would say. And I didn't think that was possible. Looking at the trailers, I wouldn't believe that. I was kind of like, man, this looks so dumb. Like, who is Charlize Theron's character? What does she really play into this? There is a lot of hidden treasures in this film. There's a lot of secrets that the trailers really didn't reveal, which I'm so happy about. The thing is that the trailers are deceiving in the sense that I wasn't pressed to watch this until I heard everybody tell me, man, this is a really good film. And I ended up watching it, and I loved it. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and break this down. As far as, the practical effects, the choreography, the cinematography, it was on point. The thing about the practical effects in this one, that there are a lot of moments that were definitely heavy CG. Like, there's one moment where there's like this tank just going through the ice, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, you got a submarine in the backfold, you got explosions here, can this tank really hold up? They actually have these vehicles out there on the ice. Like, they actually are merging very well, very perfectly, I might add. Perfect CG along with really good practical effects. And I think that Vin Diesel has really honed and sharpened this. Matter of fact, I mean, with them having the helm of the guy that directed the Italian Job, with this one, I think it was directed very well. Like, each sequence played into itself, and at the same time, one of the things about all of these films is that there are a lot of hidden, how do I put it without spoiling anything? There's a lot of different mentions of things that kind of make you think that they're all addressed eventually. From Tokyo Drift on, there's always been little like questions you ask, like, what about this character? What about that? Like, how does this connect to this person? Who is Owen Shaw? What is his brother? Like, they tie it all in so well that it almost seems seamless. It seems like they actually planned it out. But I know I'm kind of jumping the gun because I'm kind of talking more about the story, but the way that it was scripted and dissected is very smartly written. I guess that's the best way I would kind of put it. In a world that's just over the top and just crazy. And I think that they keep to the central theme of raising the bar, what they've been trying to do, but keeping the core element, which is the laughter, the family, the excitement, and the action is on key, man. Like, the action is just all over the place. I think one of my favorite sequences was definitely Jason Statham and The Rock just going to town. Like, they were going ham. But then, anytime Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, is in a car and what he's capable of, I think Charlize Theron said to him at one point, like, your family's, their hardest task is you. You know what I'm saying? And even every one of them knew that, because I didn't think about the fact that, Vin Diesel's gone up against Brian before. He's gone up against, The Rock. He's definitely in the last movie, Jason Statham. So it's like, yeah, he is the most dangerous asset that now has been turned. You know what I'm saying? And I think that from an acting standpoint, this is one of the more emotional, gripping movies that I think that Vin Diesel's kind of done on this franchise since the first one. I think that he came really close with Fast and Furious with the death of Letty, or what we thought was the death of Letty. And then of course, like you knew from the back end that he was very emotional based on what happened to Paul Walker, R.I.P. him. And I think that you could tell the emotional side of it, but this one, there was a real trigger that initiated an emotional response. So there's a couple scenes that were very emotional, very high stakes, and I think that the stakes have been raised. And I didn't think that they really could be. I was like, where is this going to kind of go? You know what I'm saying? And I think that Vin Diesel commits to it so well that it adds this, like appeal to this franchise, as well as like Tyrese and Ludacris. They're on key as far as their comedic timing. They added in Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's younger son, to tag team with Kurt Russell. They're really interesting in this. I think even Jason Statham is actually just as good, if not better, than he was in Furious 7. The rest of the crew are there. Letty is definitely the heart and soul to Dom in every way. I don't want to spoil anything else. There's definitely some other hidden, characters in the mix, but definitely Charlize Theron is one of the most vicious and evil characters that, when you think about what she's really truly capable of and what she's really trying to do, and how it all ties into what all these movies have kind of built down the line, it's actually she's a very well defined villain. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlize, and it's weird because the trailers, her look so over the top and so dumb, but she has some menacing, oh my gosh, scenes with Dom that make you understand why, kind of thing. And that's the thing. I'm not gonna spoil the story. I think the movie itself merits you having to go and check it out. Like, if not for entertainment value alone, if you've never seen any of them, I would go personally back and go to the originals. But if you watch this just from a popcorn flick kind of film, this brings you back to those old school 90s, Terminator 2, Face Off, Con Air type of feel, like action beats that have emotional triggers and real stakes, but are over the top. Like there's a lot of stunts in this and a lot of action moments in this that just are unbelievable. There's no way it would work that way. But from that standpoint, I think that this is one of the more emotionally gripping of the franchise, and I think that they commit to the action just as much and the comedic numbers just as much, and everybody plays their role well. Like they've got the comedy, they've got the action, they got the emotional appeal, they got the underlying theme of family, and then now they actually have a well-defined villain, which I thought personally, matter of fact, like I was like, Furious 7, like I was like, shoot, Statham has it, he's got it all. But I mean, Charlize gives Statham a run for his money, and it's not even about a physical contact, it's an emotional and just a depth of evil kind of thing. And so I think that she pulls this movie to a even better direction, and I don't even know where to rank these anymore, because Furious 7 was one of my favorites. Fast and the Furious 1 is always going to be one of my top ones. I think Fast 5 was, it's Fast 5, Furious 7, Fast and the Furious, and now this, The Fate of the Furious. Like, real talk, man, this is up there in the top 3. I don't know where I'd put it, but this was a really good film, and I think that I really enjoyed it, man. Like, I'd really highly recommend you go and check out The Fate of the Furious. I never thought I would actually personally say that. I thought this was going to be the one that they dropped the ball on. I hope this movie makes the money that is actually valued at, because this was one of their best ones. So I give this one a 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it. I can't wait to actually maybe watch it again. I checked it out with my wife and with Joe. We all enjoyed it. Maybe me and Joe are going to do maybe a spoiler review on it a little bit later on. If y'all want that, definitely let us know in the comment section below. If you checked out The Fate of the Furious, let us know in the comment section below. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed evening, blessed day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.